you're with Amanda Hall, psychic, all the way from the Gold Coast. I hope you're having an absolutely awesome night wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours. It's been a really interesting last 7 days, has it? And I'm not going to open the show with let's hold our hands and prayers and everything for everyone around the world. That goes without saying. This week I want to open the show on a very positive, upbeat sort of feel and say to you, I hope that you've had an awesome week like I've had. I've had the good fortune this week of going to meet one of the people I most admire in the world, and that's John Edward, the medium from the US of A. I had the good fortune of going to one of his live events over the weekend and getting to meet the man in person. What can I say except if you ever get the opportunity to see the master in his own domain, spoil yourself and grab a ticket, take a couple of friends, you won't be disappointed. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. It was a show that I will take with me for the rest of my life, and I will always treasure the experience because it really sort of showed me that he was somebody that's done such amazing work and I've had such immense respect for throughout his lengthy career. And he was no different in person to what he was on the TV or the DVD, or if you're part of the Evolve Club, which I am, and you get to watch his little shows each week. He's very much like that in real life. He's a very down-to-earth, honest, humble man, and it was my absolute pleasure to meet this man. I only hope that I get another opportunity to meet with him at a later stage. It was a fantastic show, and he's still here in Australia, but for those of you I know that watch all around the world, he does tour around the world, and it is worthwhile investment to go and experience one of these events for yourself and understand, I think, a little bit more about the afterlife and why we need to use John's word, to validate and appreciate everybody while they're here on earth. Don't wait until they're passed and then go to a medium to try and get your validation. Do it while they're here. It's very important. And make sure that we do some small kind gesture every week or every day to make the world a better place. So moving on with the show, this week we're going to be featuring the Simply Tarot card of the week. And this week I'm really excited to say it's a positive, upbeat card. It's the Chariot, the card of movement, of residence, journey, victory over a situation or a problem, balancing the opposite polarities. And it's a time of great joy, I believe. When I see the Chariot card come out, I automatically think of, wow, things are starting to turn a corner. Things are starting to become much more positive in our lives than what they were just even hours before. So it's great to understand that you're able to bring about the victories or the positive changes in your life, the things that you may have been struggling with, the things that have been going up and down like a yo-yo, and now finally we've got some balance, we've got some direction with those. So it's really going to help you this week, I think, if you focus on that energy of the Chariot and of the victory that can come into your life. So we're going to be moving on now to what's actually happening in the universe this week. And I really want to sort of focus on the fact that we are at the Scorpio time of the year. And please, all our darling little Scorpios, I don't want you to be offended with what I'm about to say because it might seem as if it's a little bit negative, and I don't mean it to sound that way. But when we enter this time of the year, the Scorpio season, as I like to call it, it really is a time of intense emotional energy. It's a time when it's asking each and every one of us, no matter what your star sign, to duck under the covers, to have a really good, long, hard look at yourself, your emotions. What have you been hiding from yourself? What have you been hiding from others? What have you been avoiding? What have you been saying, I'll do that tomorrow? All those sort of things. And sometimes we don't like what we see, and I'm guilty of that also. Sometimes I don't like what I see when I duck under the covers too. But I always try my very, very best to work with the energy, to work with the thing that's making me feel uncomfortable. If it's negative, if it's not so positive, I try and work with it and try and turn it into a positive, or try and find some sort of calm place to put it and sort of try and work on the issues or the situations or the people or whatever it may be that needs to be addressed, so that we can sort of hopefully start to get some real answers and some real progress out of this, because the Scorpio energy is very, very powerful. So it is a really interesting time of the year at the moment because we have the Scorpio sun. We also have the new moon heading into Scorpio on the 18th this weekend. But for the little bit of the glimpse around the universe, I want to focus on this. We've got Venus conjunct or holding hands with Jupiter in Scorpio. So this is a really powerful conjunction because it is Venus, the planet of love and affection, and it's Jupiter, the planet of expansion, opportunity, and new beginnings. So what does this mean in very basic terms? What it means is if you are in a relationship that has been troubled, that you've been struggling with, whether it's a relationship or a relationship with your husband, your wife, your partner, your children, your co-workers, anybody on the planet, it's now the time where we can try and find a comfortable spot to negotiate, to try and look at, can't we look at it from the other person's point of view, just even for a couple of minutes, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll get a clearer understanding of how to progress forward with this intense emotional energy that we can turn it into a positive. For those of you that are single, be very aware this could be the time that you'll meet the person of your dreams, but it may come in an unusual or a different way. So if you've been invited to that work party or that work conference and you didn't really want to go, well, now's the time you get your glad rags out of the wardrobe or the cupboard and you really start to spruce yourself up and put your best foot forward, because you never know who you might meet. So having said that, I think it is a very, very powerful time, and it leads me into the new moon on the 18th of this month, on the weekend, in Scorpio. So again, it's asking us to duck under the covers and have a look at our emotions, have a look at the things that we've hidden from ourselves, the things that we've delayed, the things that we've tried to put off, and ask yourself, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to bring it out of the darkness and bring it into the light? Are you going to start and explore it and maybe look at some positive new slant that you can put on this? Can we dust it off? Can we wash it off? Can we make it fresh and sparkly? Can we bring it out and say, wow, this could be a good idea. Why have I been sitting on this for so long? Am I able to sort of resurrect this and put a positive spin on it and bring it out and make it fresh and new and put it into my basket of things to do, my goals to achieve, the things that I want to be working towards as we head into the new year and beyond? The same can be said for relationships, or any type of relationship or disagreement or argument that we may have had with a family member, a friend, a co-worker, or just someone that we deal with in our day-to-day lives. Sometimes I think we get bogged down with the emotion of he said, she said, and it was all very nasty and not so nice, and we don't want to go back and visit it, and how could I forgive them because they said that? A lot of things get said in the heat of the moment. And a lot of things, I think, if we had 20/20 vision and we had the time to do it all over again, we would have handled the situation differently. So therefore, we would have got a different outcome. Well, now's our chance. Go back, revisit it. Look at it with those unemotional eyes. Try and look at it very logically and practically as if it's someone else's issue or situation. And see if you can take something new from this. Is there something that we can salvage from this? Can we go back and try and mend a fence, fix a relationship, pull a family member back into the fold? There's plenty of things that I'm sure that we could be doing. The new moon in Scorpio also, in my opinion, gives us the wealth of opportunity to dust things off from the past, reinvent them, reignite the passion, bring them out into the light and say, okay, let's get all sparkly and let's get fresh and new. Let's look at a new way of maybe being able to make a project that didn't work the last time. Maybe now's the right time. So work with this tremendous force of water that's known as the Scorpio energy. It is known as the frozen block of ice. But when you think of a block of ice has tremendous strength. It has depth. It has integrity. It's different to the water energy of the Cancer, which is flowing and free moving, and from the Pisces, which is the gaseous, steamy type of energy. This is a very strong, powerful energy. So we should take the opportunity to work with this over the next 7 to 10 days, but particularly over the weekend. So we look at any time from the 16th through to about the 20th is when the new moon is at its most powerful. So it's time now to set your intentions, like write your wish list, put it under your candle, all those sort of things. And this leads me on to the candle of the week this week. Now, I've chosen a very special candle this week as we're heading into that Christmas holiday season all around the globe. I've chosen this week the candle that was specially designed for loss. It's called My Angel in the Sky. Now, for each and every one of us, we have been touched by loss at some stage or another in our lives, and it's a time that can be quite sad. But the time I think we miss our loved ones the most is around the holiday season. And we always try and think of some special or unique way that we can include them. Even though they're not here, they're still in our thoughts and our prayers. So this is why I created this particular candle. It's something that we can use in those special occasions. We can light it as our Christmas candle on the table. And no one really needs to know, but everybody will know by the label, My Angel in the Sky, that we're using this candle to represent the loved ones that are no longer with us. They may be gone, but they're never forgotten. It's also a candle that you can burn on a daily basis if you want to keep your particular angels in the sky very close to you and bring them closer to you. I know that it's one of the candles that I burn very regularly because, like everybody else around the world, I have lost people over my lifetime too, and people that were very special and significant to me. So I light the candle probably once a day for an hour, and I usually say hello and give them a wave and tell them how my day's been. And each day I pick someone different that's passed over so that they all feel that they've had a little turn in my world. So that's my choice for this week, My Angel in the Sky. Now we're going to move on to our little mini astrology lesson, which is part 3 of Uranus through the signs. Now, Uranus is the planet of the unusual, the unexpected, the ripping the tablecloth off the table trick and not breaking the china sort of energy. It's like the bolt of lightning. It's like the Tower card of the tarot. Uranus is my favourite planet because it means he comes along and he clears the decks. He gets you out of that rut. He gives you the inspiration and the direction. May not have been in the way that you thought, but, hey, you asked for help. Well, I'm here to help. I didn't say I was going to make it easy, but I do it fast. And that's how Uranus works. So Uranus in Libra. Now, this is a very interesting combination because Uranus is creating the sudden opportunities and Libra likes to have everything in balance, everything sort of equal, everything sort of nice, calm, peaceful, very flossed pink. So what does the combination bring to the table? Well, the combination can bring brilliant negotiations, can bring sudden breakthroughs in negotiations of, talks and things like that have been so stuck. It can bring a conclusion that can come very, very quickly because all of a sudden the light bulb goes on and everybody sees it from a different perspective, and finally we have communication breakthrough. And that can be an amazing thing. It can also bring insights into your life in a very fast and powerful way. So Uranus in Scorpio. So I hear you sort of shudder a little bit and think, oh dear, I don't know how Scorpio's going to like this Uranian energy. Well, you're right. Uranus doesn't particularly like working with the Scorpio energy because the Scorpio energy is so deep and meaningful and wanting to be the boss, and Uranus wants to be the boss as well. But what you can see here with Uranus working hand in hand with Scorpio is we can finally strike some lightning or some light into that very deep, dark, intense world of the Scorpio energy. So we can finally get the breakthroughs that we've been searching for. Sometimes people with Uranus in Scorpio are incredibly psychic because they have that ability to just channel that very powerful energy into those deep depths of the soul and other people's souls and extract the answers that no one else can see. So it can be the sign of somebody incredibly psychic, but it can also be the sign of somebody that is really prepared to get in and get underneath all the covers and look at what they can discover in a very fast and dynamic way. So we now move on to our final sign this week, which is Uranus in Sagittarius. And no, I don't have Uranus in Sagittarius. I'm a little bit jealous that I don't. Uranus in Sagittarius, I think, gives you the ability to sort of have the really intense light bulb moments. Bang, 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 bang. Uranus can put the ideas in front of you, and the Sagittarian being the eternal student and always wanting to travel or say, yes, how quickly do we leave? Oh, that's a great idea. I've never thought about looking at education in that way or that situation or this issue. So it's a really electric, fiery, sort of positive, dynamic, sort of spark-flying energy. When the two of those hold hands together or work together, it can be really amazing. And this is where we can get some of our really unique, different sort of concepts that come in through education. And they can come in through Uranus being in the sign of Sagittarius. And I'm sure you've met some wonderful people throughout your life that have been a great inspiration to you, that have been the greatest teacher or the greatest person that shared some information with you that's put you on another path. They may very well have had Uranus in Sagittarius. So we're going to take our very, very first caller of the show, and it is Marita in St. Louis, Missouri. Are you there, Marita?
Hello. Yes, it's Marietta.
Oh, Marietta, right, my apologies. How can I help you tonight, Marietta?
And I've been listening, and yesterday was my birthday, and
happy
so I'm
birthday.
definitely Scorpio.
Happy birthday for yesterday.
Well, thank you. And well, I did have a question, or kind of if you feel my angels or guides. Tomorrow would be my husband and my anniversary. He passed away 14 months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And just seeing if if he felt anything. And I was asking, I've been listening. Where do you get this my angel in the sky candle?
You can get them from my website here in Australia. My website is actually at the bottom of the screen. It's amandahallpsychic.com.au, and if you go onto the website, you'll find the shop and you'll see all the candles there. I'm really sorry for your loss. I do understand what it's like to be widowed. Having been that myself 30-odd years ago, I can say to you, Marietta, it's something that's an exclusive club that we certainly don't want any more members to. But having said that, it's something that I think is a life-changing event, and not just because you've lost the person that was so important and a major part of your life, but I think it makes you realise that you can't waste 1 second of your life, that you really do need to make every second count from, that point onwards. I can share with you that your husband is very happy. He's smiling from ear to ear. Was he a little bit of a practical joker when he was here on Earth?
Yeah. Kind of, it was more, he was just a joker, yes. It was more dry humor, I guess is the word.
Yeah, but when he had something that he was trying to keep from you, did he sort of get that particular look on his face that I know something you don't know look?
Like a smirk. Yeah, he always had a smirk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a smirk again right now. And that's why I wasn't sure whether he was trying to tell me he was a bit of a practical joker or whether he just liked to sort of think that he had one on.
It was like there was always, and he didn't even know he was even doing it. He just had a smirk on his face all the time.
Yeah, well, he's got that smirk now. So I'm taking from that he's got information up there that he's not about to share with us, that he's feeling quite excited about because it's connected to you. It's not connected to him. And I just sort of feel from his energy, what he was sharing with me was it was time to let go of everything. Whether that's letting go of the final part of your grief, and I don't know that we ever let go of the final bit. I think we just learn to work through it and put it to one side, and some days is worse than others. I mean, I can share with you, it doesn't matter how many years go by, you can hear a particular song on the radio and it can take you right back to that moment. And then there's other times where you seem to float through life and everything's good and they're never too far away from our thoughts, but you get on with living. And that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to get on with living. So I can just only take from what I see with your late husband, this smirk on his face is like he swallowed the cat, the canary and the cream, and he's got all the goodies and he's going to share them with you all at once, whatever that means. So I'm taking from that life is about to explode in the most positive of ways. And I feel that by him showing me that he wants you to let go of that final gush of emotion, is that I think that he's sharing with us that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be someone new entering your life and he wants you to be able to enjoy it for what it is, the newness, the freshness, that you do deserve to be loved again. And it's okay. He wants you to be happy. He doesn't want you to be maudlin and looking back at the past. Nobody can ever take away from the both of you what you shared. You'll always carry that in your heart and your soul, but your husband wants you to be happy. Were you contemplating a move of residence? Because he keeps showing me a question mark over a house.
Now say that again. He's trying to what?
He's showing me a question mark over a house. So I took that as, were you thinking of moving?
I'm trying to keep my house, our home. And,
okay.
And matter of fact, I'm getting ready to move. She's called our Grammy Bev. She's going to be moving in at the beginning of the year.
Right. Okay. All right, well, he's telling me that's good. You're right on cue with what you're trying to do. I feel you'll achieve that. But I also feel in 2018, Marietta, I feel that there's going to be more money coming towards you.
Oh, amen. Thank you. I've been fighting everything.
Yeah, you will find next year will be much easier financially, emotionally, and every other way. And I think there's going to be an awful lot to smile about next year, which is good. It's been a tough time. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to work with you, Marietta, and just know that your husband's with you all the time. He's always around you. He's going to do things, I think, from time to time that you'll know it's just him. You know, there could be no one else. It'd have to be him and his wonderful sense of humour. You know, like turning the television on in the middle of the night and things like that. You just acknowledge him. That's all he wants. He just wants to be acknowledged.
Right. I do. I feel him, and I realize when he is, you know, because I kind of was born with a gift, and I used to freak him out when we first got together, and it got to where it didn't even bother him, you know.
Yeah, well, that's good. He doesn't want you to be freaked out, but he just wants you to acknowledge him. Okay, Marietta, we're going to move on now with Chrissy in Louisiana. Are you there, Chrissy?
Yes.
How can I help you tonight, Chrissy?
I have so many things going on right now, like I really don't even know one specific question to ask you.
Okay, well, the first thing you need to do is take a deep breath and slow down a little bit. That's what they're showing me. You're trying to do too much all in one go. I think we need to sort of categorise what needs to be sorted out first. And interestingly enough, they're showing me your job is the first thing we need to sort out. So have you been contemplating making changes or looking for a new job?
Actually, I'm disabled.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter has been. But we don't have a vehicle right now. Things have just been really kind of bad right now for us.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, the money has been bad. She's pregnant, so, you know, and she's one of the main people that help support this household.
Right.
But that has been taken away by her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
So, yeah, so things have just been really, really hard for us right now.
Okay.
I guess maybe one of the main questions I would want to ask is, do you see us getting a vehicle anytime soon?
I do, but I don't think it's going to be much before Christmas. I don't think it's going to be next week. I still think there's, you know, a few weeks wait. But there is the opportunity there to get a vehicle. I only see this next one, though, as what I'd term as a fairly short-term situation, maybe 12 months, 18 months. Then you'll be in a better position to buy a better vehicle. So look at this as a stepping stone on to better things. So I'm pleased to sort of share with you that I don't believe your daughter's ex-boyfriend is coming back towards you guys, and I don't think he's going to be much of an issue in the future. I think we can pretty much close the door on that chapter of her life and say he's gone, and that's where he needs to be. It's interesting because I think your daughter is ready to say goodbye. She's been ready to say goodbye to him for a while. But she's also now, I think, coming more to terms with the fact that she's going to be a mother. I don't feel she really absorbed that or acknowledged that before, but it's now sort of coming in a full flood that she's, wow, I am going to be a mother and I need to, you know, start making plans for that. That's a good thing. I don't feel it's a bad thing. I do feel, though, the two of you will become much closer through this experience. I know it's not sort of the way that you had planned or had hoped to sort of, you know, build a stronger relationship with your daughter, but sometimes the universe has a different plan for us than we can begin to imagine. So that's what I'm seeing happening there. But I also sort of feel even after your daughter gives birth to the baby, I do feel she's going to go back to work. I don't know that it's going to be full-time, but I do see her going back on a, you know, 2 or 3 days a week, and she seems happy to do that. The balance of, you know, you maybe helping her with the baby and her being able to go back to work is a good balance. It's a good fit.
awesome. Do you see a boy or a girl?
I never like to predict the sex of a baby. All as I like to share with people is the energy that I'm being given, and the energy that I was being given was feminine, was very gentle, very caring, very loving sort of energy. So, I mean, yes, we can have a very caring, loving little boy, but I felt it was more likely to be a little girl.
Oh, okay, great. Now,
And she's very wise. She's a very old soul, and she's been here before. So by the time she's about 2, be prepared, Mum and Grandma, she's going to be bossing you two around like there's no tomorrow. But she's a beautiful child.
Oh, gosh. We already have a 7-year-old, so she has been, she's been doing that as well to us.
Okay,
that'll be her second child.
Next one loves music and loves to dance. So I don't know whether that fits in with your older granddaughter, but this new one that's coming really just loves the music and the beat and loves to dance and is a little show-off in the most lovely of ways.
Oh, great. You know, she was pondering, even possibly adoption. But
No, I don't feel that's going to happen. I don't feel that's going to happen. You're not going to adopt this baby. This baby's a gift. And this baby's going to bring such joy and such good luck to the family. So, obviously your daughter's got to do what's right for her, but I don't feel that's a decision that she's going to make. She's not going to adopt the child out. I could see her embracing motherhood. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for your call, Chrissy. We're nearly at the end of the show now. I'd like to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in again this week. Next week, we'll do our final 4-part series of Uranus in the final 3 signs of Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. We'll have our Simply Tarot card of the week. We'll also feature a new Eco Soy candle next week as well. So wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours, have an absolutely awesome week and make sure that you're really kind to each other. Open a car door, smile, do a nice little gesture for somebody, and let's make the world a much, much better place and bring more love into the planet. Bye for now. See you all next week.